Have you ever watched kids jump down sets of stairs, riding on skateboards, and wondered, wow, those kids have no regard for their body and are going to get hurt? Well, skateboarder Adrian Brock plans to disprove these and the other misconceptions about skateboarding today on The New Directors. The Humanities Communication Arts Department at Norwalk Community College presents The New Directors, the show that introduces you to television's future writers, directors, and personalities. And now join our host, Jeff Edelstein.
Hi. Our guest today is an NCC student in the Film and TV Production course and an experienced skateboarder who has skated for the last 11 years. He coaches skateboarding as a profession as well. I would like to introduce Adrian Brock.
Yeah, what's up?
How you doing, Adrian? Today we had a...
Question one.
Right. So, Adrian, we know skateboarding isn't for everybody, and personally, when I see those guys jumping down stairs and riding rails, it makes me a bit scared. What separates you lunatics from the rest of us?
Well, first of all, I'd like to point out that there really isn't anything that separates skateboarders from your average football or basketball player. Everyone could become a skateboarder if they'd like, and there are many different kinds of skating. Here you can see some of my stuff. I'm not this spectacular myself. When people think about skateboarding as a career, they're considering sponsored skaters. Those guys are the best and brightest in the business. Then there are levels. First one would be flowed skater, which I'm almost at now. That's the level I'm kind of at. Then there's or amateur, and there's other guys who are competing or are paid to travel, and their living expenses and food are paid for. And then there's pro, and after you win and put out a few video parts, you turn pro. And that's when you're sponsored and you receive a salary. So maybe someday I'd like to go pro.
Interesting.
Yeah, here's some lines at Mill River in Stanford.
Who's filming these?
My homie Billy.
I think I know.
Really?
My homie, too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Everybody's homie. So.
Yeah, skateboarding community. Tray flip fakie in the bank at Stanford. This is actually Stanford skate park right here.
All right, now could you tell us why you decided to take the TV production course?
Well, to be honest, I actually just needed some extra credits. I've already graduated this class and I needed something fun. I was curious about television production, and I've also filmed a lot in my life as a skateboarder, backyard wrestler, and a gymnast. Therefore, I needed to learn more about cameras, and I received a bunch of experience about them and editing in this course.
Well, what are some of the most useful things you learned in this TV production course?
Honestly, I would have to say the camera aspect of it. Setting the white balance is something that I learned in this course, and I never understood why when you shot indoors it looked blue and when you shot outdoors it looked red until I figured it out. And there's a one push function on the camera that actually allows you to hold like a piece of paper in front of it and set the white balance that way. So that way no matter what setting you're in, it's actually the perfect amount. I learned about exposures, and that was actually something very useful because I do a lot of night filming.
Oh, cool.
So I guess those are the most useful things.
Awesome, very good. And could you tell us about the productions you created for this TV1 course, such as the Learning Project, Action Sequence, Fall Foliage, and the Orange Project?
Yeah, sure. I'd like to talk about these. I want to put some footy on, and maybe I'll discuss it as we go along.
Yeah, sure, we'll see what we can do.
All right, here we have the learning sequence. I got my friend Eliana to walk around campus and pick up a bottle and recycle it. And then this is where we learned about cutting on the action. Every time we cut on the action, we were supposed to move. I did many cuts here because it was like still new. So it was supposed to change the angle and the distance from the subject. So this is where we learned how to cut on the action. And I had a good time filming for this one.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of action.
And then this one's another time we got to practice cutting on the action, but a little bit more in depth. This one's the Student Takes Notes project. And here it seemed quite tedious about how many little cuts that we had to do. But I honestly learned quite a bit about the filmmaking process while making this presentation here. A lot of little cuts, like even less than a second, that gets used in the video.
So a lot of it came back to editing later.
Yeah, for me it did. This one right here is my orange project. The prompt was that you're supposed to find and lose an orange in 3 minutes with no dialogue and use some of the new, the new techniques we've learned in this class. So I made the orange my girlfriend, and I'm gonna, this is where I meet her
very
right now.
unique.
Yeah, I'm actually helping her do her homework here.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
No.
I'm gonna get her phone number maybe if I was lucky. Yeah, I tried to do some cuts here, some
Did you
smaller
create your own
ones.
storyboards for this one?
So. Here we have the nature project. This is a portion of the fall foliage. And I was in the woods a lot around the area of Norwalk and Stanford shooting this one. I was just going around really trying to look for anything I thought appealing in nature. The prompt required us to look for lines of grace, rules of thirds, do a shift focus, 3 continuous zooms ins and outs. So that's stuff that we also got to work with the editing too, the zoom ins and zoom outs and dissolving with that.
Cool. Well, that's great. Well, I know that you at least had one of your favorite projects. Could you tell us one that stood out the most?
I have to say the orange project, I got to use a bit more of my imaginative sense, my imaginative side. And I feel like that would probably be my choice. Would you like to see some of it?
Sure. Let's check it out.
All right, yeah, this is some more of me just
You said it was
getting
your
the number
girlfriend?
out. Oh yeah. I was seeing her for about 3 minutes,
All right.
and then we broke up.
Oh,
I found this really awesome. No, I don't know.
Where'd you come up with the idea?
I just thought, how could I get
need a
and
girlfriend?
lose an orange? And I'm excited. I got the number. And this one we're skipping. We're on our first date.
Of course.
And I'm being a
good
little
first date.
awkward here. I'll slip the hand over her. And this is our first day at Panera Bread. And then she got kind of freaky for a second. I guess she was just like really horny.
Oranges are known for that, actually.
Yeah, I guess so.
I know a pair of ones do that too. All right, just keep going at it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Till you get it right. All right, you mentioned the variety of things you learned in this course, and what was the most interesting and important skill you learned, and how did you put it to use?
I definitely would have to say the camera skills. Like again, setting the white balance changed my life.
Yeah.
Now all my colors and everything that I shoot and everything will be more consistent. Reds will look like reds, greens will look like greens. In every situation, the colors will be the same. And that's really, that's actually something that I walk away from this course with.
Okay. Well, that's great. Well, thank you very much. And today we had the chance to meet an athlete who shared his unique sport with us. As a new TV director, he will take the filming knowledge he learned and apply it to what he knows, does, and loves. We would like to thank Adrian for joining us today.
You're welcome.
That's all I got. So thank you very much,
Yeah, no problem, dude.
and hope to see you soon.
Norwalk Community College.
This has been The New Directors with your host, Jeff Edelstein. Directed by Leroy Moore. I'm your announcer, Kat Friel. The New Directors is a Norwalk Community College student production.